It's another Tuesday on Your View. Welcome to the show. I'm Mariah Afolabi Brown. As always, I have the ladies with me. Hi, ladies.
Hi, Mariah.
Election fever ongoing. Day 2 of counting. How you doing?
I'm doing amazing.
So did you watch TV all day yesterday, or you just doing something else?
I was a bit under the weather.
Oh, well.
So I'll be doing the hospital today after the show.
Oh.
I watched a bit, but not so much. I had to lie down and close my eyes at least so that I could rest. Yeah.
You think my life depended on it? I just like I was glued to TV.
We saw your comments.
Like just watching like every single.
When are they calling? When are they counting?
My husband's people from Oyekiti, they are VC. Like they were asking that, do you need light or do you need ruler? Is the ruler long enough? I mean, I'm like, come on, man. Like, VC? Okay, well, I guess.
No, you see, we just have to find a way to deviate from these methods of collation of results.
I'm telling you.
These professors,
so archaic.
I think we insult them by subjecting them to these methods.
Right.
I'm telling
How
you.
can you collate results in Edo State and you travel with it to Abuja to go announce it to Shama?
And
this
did you see
technology,
the method of
The
announcing?
issue of trust. Nobody would ever trust you. If you say you're emailing it from Edo to
Well,
Abuja.
already we've grown. We are just not admitting it.
Yeah.
You know, in the past, we'll sit down, like in whose time, they'll tell us in Benue State, 2 million votes, whereas the people that eligible voters registered were not up to 2 million. So we've passed that stage where in each polling unit, in each local government, we know what happened in our polling unit. We waited for the results to be counted. We have the facts. That was what helped in the last elections. Right. So we can't continue to talk about trust now.
How are you doing, Sha? We have a lot of politics to talk about, a lot of elections to talk about today. So
yeah, for me, of course, with all the negative news, but my polling unit, I sent you guys a video. It was fantastic, as usual. And I have to be fair because the same in 2015 and the previous elections is always well done on time. You know, you have the elderly
Where's your area again?
when they come in. The elderly when they come in, they go in first. There are seats for us to sit down. We're under a beautiful,
Where's your
nice
area
palm
again?
tree. It's just so beautiful, you know. Thank
had
you.
barbecue.
So I want to thank you. No barbecue, but maybe
Barbecue was Mariah's area.
nice, very nice tush area.
I'm telling you. I'm telling you, man.
Come to Bagada. You will now know that yes, there was nothing tush about that area.
Yeah, forget, Bagada is tush.
Compared to our area now.
Well, I saw Nima's video. She looked frustrated.
Oh my God, Bagada was
so
scared.
sorry.
Bagada said, don't scare me. This picture is very
I was
scary.
almost dying. I didn't even know I was standing for so. When I felt dehydrated by one, I said, "Please, can I get a bottle of Coke?" I'm
But I
telling
mean,
you.
I think it's an interesting experience. Even yesterday, watching the chairman, you know, announce the results are coming in from different states. It's exciting. Kogi, they're just very interesting.
They were behaving like they weren't seeing the numbers clearly on the phone.
My banter was supposed to be about my ambassadorial month for the childhood cancers that I'm doing.
Right, I saw that on Facebook.
So I wanted to say a big shout out to Dorcas Cancer Foundation. When they reached out to me, it was just natural to quickly say yes. But they've really opened my eyes. I really didn't know so much about childhood cancers until I was made an ambassador. And I think people should please try and, you know, study these things. Because when we see, it's not normal. You know, when we do agbo a lot, especially people like my... we do agbo, but the things that we do agbo for might just be one of those childhood cancers that, you know, we should be investigating. And it's proper that you get proper diagnosis.
You're very right. I mean, my eyes got poked last week, Thursday, and I've not gone to the doctor to get checked.
You should have.
I mean, well, I didn't have time really, but the truth is that we would do a lot of self-medication in the house, thinking that we can solve the problem
Medication is
ourselves.
even for the elite. These people that do this agbos.
It's agbo medication.
That's it. It has happened before. Yes, sometimes when it works for you, it might be just another coincidence. But for some people, it might be the death, you know, the death sentence.
much bigger problems.
Yeah.
Alrighty, let's go on a break. As I said, it's election fever. All we're talking about is the elections. Anyway, we're going to take a break. It's just exciting watching how everybody's just...
I'm excited.
Everywhere I go to, everybody's watching, Mariah, have they announced it? What's going on? I want to calm down.
Yeah,
It's
I was
not
on
the World
TV,
Cup.
Twitter.
It's not,
I was
it's not
Everywhere,
World Cup.
yeah. I did more social media.
Oh, let's go on a break. When we come back, we'll try to go through the front pages of the newspaper. Stay with us. We'll be right back. Right, we're going to start with the punch as usual. Buhari wins 7 states. Atiku 4, PDP rejects results. Father allegedly rapes 3 daughters and attacks his wife. Hoodlums beat up traders, destroy shops in Lagos market. Agbaje kicks against election violence in Lagos. Ajimobi accepts defeat, congratulates PDP Senator-elect. Panic as thugs set Imo INEC office ablaze. And I declared Okorocha winner under duress, says returning officer. We'll come to that a bit later. But the human interest, the father that raped his daughters. What's that?
So this very distraught mother, Tokwe Ogba, in Badagry area, is in court crying, helplessly. She said her daughter, 13-year-old, she recently found out from a teacher in school that she'd been raped by her father. And when she confronted him, she found out that not only had he raped the 13-year-old, he had been raping over the years their 20-year-old and their 25-year-old daughters. And the children have been unable to tell her. And she says when she confronted him, he kept beating her and, molesting her. And one day he beat her so much there was blood all over her. He ran after her, poured petrol on her. It took neighbors, to protect her from him. So he's been arrested and taken to court, although he's denying it, but they took the girls to the hospital. There's proof that they had been molested over there.
And he's the father, he should be prosecuted.
Yes.
Seriously.
No, even if he's not the father, it just makes it more grievous, more terrible that is their father. So this is supposed to be their trusted defender, someone trusted protector, but when it happens like this, it's just terrible.
It's painful. The other story, the hoodlums? Traders, hoodlums attacked traders at Ushodi Market. That was yesterday. First of all, they came by 5 a.m., destroyed goods and properties in the marketplace, then came back again about 7 a.m. They were beating the traders, destroying their wares, and shouting, "You did not vote for APC, you did not vote for APC," according to the story. But one of the traders quickly called their head, and that called the commissioner of police. So they mobilized security officials to come and take. Wait, I'm not even done. To come and take, make some arrests. But the people suspected have been released already. So we don't know where this is going to.
You see, when we continue to dissent, we try along tribal lines. In these elections, two things didn't divide us: religion and ethnicity. But the information out there, I said I sat with some people in the polling and they're like, it's Yoruba that I'm voting for. Those kind of narratives, we cannot continue to have it. People can dissent, and these are thugs attacking. And you cannot continue to say, accuse a particular ethnic group or the other along party lines. This is what it breeds. It's continue to break us more.
People should be left to vote for who they want.
Simple, and it's a free country. You can stay anywhere.
And the conversation should stop being along ethnic lines.
Let's move on to the nation. Buhari set for victory, according to the nation. Observers score high polls. Let's see. Tinubu hails INEC, security agencies for peaceful poll. Government warns against plans to truncate electoral process. And picture here of the senators who made it. Some of the senators who made it. And Kwara free, says Abdul Razak. All right, so observers had said that they scored the polls pretty high.
This observer group...
Tanzania, right?
The Electoral Institute for Sustainable... Okay, I'm taking some.
Okay, go ahead.
The one in Tanzania is saying that the elections were peaceful enough and that, we should... they're now compelling all the parties, the candidates, to accept the pacts that they signed prior to the elections and all that.
Yeah, the Minister of Information and Culture, Lai Mohammed, is saying that I
was actually going to take that somewhere else. I was going to take that in.
Okay.
But let me. Actually, go ahead. Take it.
Okay, so he's saying that the.
I'll just be very quiet.
Yeah, but he's speaking now. He's saying that the.
Well, I've not been around for a while, so maybe I've not heard it.
If you know the work he did, right. he went from from the capital. He was accused of not being a proper on ground in Kwara and said, we will break this wall, and he did the work. It happened.
Oh, so he wasn't doing the work.
They started the Otoge campaign. They went there. They rallied. They got parties from everywhere. They got the
Are we talking about the same person?
Yes, now the Lai Mohammed. So he did the work.
Okay.
He did the work, and so
he's saying that the opposition is making plans to destabilize the election so that they can have an interim government. So they are going to say they are going to reject the result and say that the other party, they have won. So that when the INEC now finally announces the result, we'll see that there's disparity, and that can cause, and they're sending all their spokesmen out to speak against the election to just nullify the whole thing.
Okay, moving on to Daily Sun. Buhari wins 2.8 million votes. Atiku 2.4 million in 10 states and FCT. EFCC arrests Iwu ex-INEC chairman. Questions him on Dezani's 2015 polls funds. Melaye and Musun Namani win state Senate seats. I won't talk until INEC declares results, says Buhari. I declared Okorocha winner under duress, says returning officer. Mariam, I know you should take that story.
Yes,
Go ahead.
So the returning officer for Imo West, his name is Professor Innocent I. Ibiawuchi. He said he had been held hostage since 7 p.m. Sunday and released at 11 a.m. on Monday. And then when he was at the National INEC office, he said that he told them that the reason he was held was so that he could declare Okorocha winner, even though at the time it was inconclusive. The counting had not finished then. The spokesperson for the governor, media aide Sam, Mr. Sam Onwemoju, sorry I murdered that name. He's saying that it seems that this man must have some mental illness. Because how, you know, that it does not make sense that this is a person that had actually won by 90,000 votes. So what other way under duress would you have been asked to change that vote? But so, let us, you know, let's see. Okay. Let's follow the story and make sure.
The seriousness of this allegation, the seriousness of it cannot just be pushed under the carpet. So even if he has mental health, it should be investigated along with the seriousness of the allegation.
Well, the numbers are getting pretty close. 2.8 million
Very
votes
close.
and 2.4 million
It's
votes.
scary.
That's so APC cannot really smile yet or act like they're the winners of this election because it's pretty close. Let's move on now to New Telegraph. Senatorial election, Akpabio, Ajimobi, Oduahan, Dakwambo, 24 others fail. El Rufai's deputy loses to PDP. APC takes control of National Assembly. Polls, APC has hacked INEC IT server, says PDP. APC, opposition rejection of results, premature and illogical. And FG accuses PDP of plots to truncate electoral process. Gunmen kill policemen escorting election results in Ogun. Autumn, Akume used soldiers, return officers to snatch and alter results. And doctors say eating onions, garlic could reduce bowel cancer risk. Okay, Nima want to take that, right?
I want to take it to, so this scientist in China's medical university in Shenyang said yesterday that, you know, allium vegetables, that's what they're called, they include garlic, leeks, chives, you know, they shall have this potential to reduce what we call colon cancer and bowel cancer. Those they say, you know, so we should eat more of this already.
Garlic, onion. Is that why you want to kill me with garlic smell? Nima always harasses me with garlic. She'll just come close to me and do.
Is it still smelling?
No.
Okay, let me just
quickly the gunmen.
Yes.
So, State. You have that story?
Yes, a police corporal, Sunday Idoko, while he was escorting election results in Ogun State, was waylaid by gunmen and they shot him, killed him. So investigation is ongoing right now. But I'm worried. This is more like post-election violence. Yes. The election has happened. People have been allowed to do their voting. Why do we still go around killing people? Who are those sending those thugs to make sure that the results are not...
remind the thugs, because there's still another election coming on.
Yeah.
There's governorship coming on.
Yes,
so if you are aggravating people, aggravating voters, you'll be surprised. Because, I mean, this is totally unfair on the citizens.
You know, the determination of Nigerians to decide and make their votes count already is visible.
It's there. It's
people
visible.
turned out, people stood by the votes. People did the work.
Now to the last paper. Vanguard polls. PDP rejects results, summons legal team. INEC declares Ojo Federal Constituency in Lagos. Ojo Federal Constituency in Lagos. House of Reps poll inconclusive. Kwara's Berlin wall of politics has fallen, says Alhaji Lai Mohammed. FG warns against plan to truncate electoral process. Ajimobi concedes defeat, says no sacrifice too much for a leader. Wow, we got to clap for Ajimobi. Yeah. He has conceded.
Graciously.
Right, cool. At least others should follow suit. But who has a story on the Ojo Federal Constituency?
So INEC declared Ojo Federal Constituency elections. That's for the House of Reps. Inconclusive based on certain irregularities that happened in Ijanikin Ward 4, Ilogbo Ward 06, Ojo Ward 01. And, you know, according to the INEC official, this is normal because when the gap between the leading party and the other party is not as much as the cancelled votes that they have. Okay. When cancelled vote exceeds those numbers, they have to declare the elections inconclusive and do a rerun for certain areas. But the PDP are saying, we are leading already, leave it.
So there's no way.
They are already, you know.
Yeah, they're really like that. The margin is about 25,000 and 28,000.
I voted in Ojo, and one thing that was major was that voters were not properly enlightened on what was happening. Okay. People were already agitated from their homes. The reason I didn't leave the queue was because people were coming from their homes agitated, saying they want to rig our election. And they would not stay on the queue,
Right.
and a lot of things like that. So certainly, if what happened that we contend in my local government happened in other places, it might have led to.
Have a lot of
Unfortunately, we have to round up on that. Let's take a break now. When we come back, we have a guest join us to discuss the thoughts on the election so far. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back. Welcome back to Your View.
Thanks for staying with us. So election fever is obviously on. We have some wins and losses at the Senate and House of Reps. We are with the big one, the presidential, coming up very soon. On the show today, we would like to hear your thoughts on the lessons learned so far. Joining us is the Deputy Assignment Editor, Mr. Cyril Abako, TVC News. Welcome to the show. You can call us on 070-806-68014. You can also tweet to us at TVC Connect. Please hashtag YourViewTVC so we can read your tweets. Cyril, one of the exciting things for me with this election is the fact that Nigerians are beginning to understand how their votes can count. That yes, people have been there X amount of years, but if you decide to vote, things can actually change. And we've seen that work out with the Akpabio, Jimobi, Senate, the whole Central Hierarchy, the whole works. In your thoughts, with the fora of the moment, I mean, what do you make of it? Of the feeling everybody is out there thinking, okay, it seems as if this is actually possible. We can actually get a new Nigeria if we keep at this.
With democracy, with a level playing field, with proper voter education, when people understand the issues, their votes can really count. Having said that, another thing you have to consider is the fact that, like we say in politics, all politics is local. And so sometimes you can have the same fever, the same feeling spreading nationally, but the determinant factors, the paradigms undergirding what's going on from place to place may differ slightly. In some places, some of these candidates join parties that could never, realistically speaking, could never emerge. That's one. On the other one, I think, on the other hand, some of these candidates, I mean, if in a particular state or in a particular political territory, a particular family has been in power for 40 years, from 1979 to 2019.
Right.
If the people take stock and make a verdict and say, enough of the dynasty, it's a verdict. It's a statement. So I think that, by and large, I read one particular poll going into the elections. This polling thing, where they predict what the outcome will be. I think what we have seen so far is not very distant from what that poll predicted. So by and large, we hope that by the time the whole process is finished, Nigeria sort of emerged winners.
The winners. Okay,
So it seems to me like we are running a two-party system, because initially before these elections we had of this party springing up and that party, and that gave some people a form of hope. But seeing the results, those other parties had very ridiculous numbers. And I just feel that, is there a lesson that we learn now to tell ourselves that if we really need a third force, we need to come together strong and
let me add to what Tobiajude is saying, because I, as a citizen, felt a bit disappointed.
Yeah.
Because the truth is that we were hungry. I remember Jumoke would say it on this table, we need a third force. We all wanted a third force.
Yes.
So I'm disappointed as a citizen that, listen, you have 500 votes here, 300 here, 200. If we had put those numbers together, we would have actually given APC and PDP a run for their money. In your thoughts, are you disappointed that these people didn't ever come together? 73 parties, I'm told.
Well, this thing is sort of dicey. I read a lot of history, political history, Nigeria and the world and so on. A particular change of political order was planned for 34 years.
Okay. So
See, this thing is it's not wishful thinking.
Right.
I see, since I can't mention names, I see candidates that I expect them to logically galvanize their immediate professional base. They can't even do that.
Oh, God.
How do you expect that? Look, do you know why the major parties do zoning, even to choose party executives? How can somebody from Zamfara come all the way to Lagos to come and contest for party's assistant financial secretary? He will have to campaign, he will have to seek for votes, and he's traveling. So he's going to spend so much to get what in turn? Assistant financial secretary of the party or deputy treasurer. So they say, okay, let's zone it. When they say, not is give us this particular portfolio, they now say, okay, micro zone it again. take it to this particular state. When another office comes to our zone, we take it to state B or to state C. It is because these bigger parties have a better understanding
of the works
of politics. Look, sometimes we say, yes, you know, sometimes you say they have no other address in the professional world. They are career politicians, you know, and then they say there's nothing like that. But you see, they have made a career out of politics. They understand this thing from ground up. You don't leave your bank or your factory a week to election or a year to election and start saying the right things, which I believe in, of course. But I know that the work you require. You don't. You don't
begin to scratch the surface. Yes, go ahead.
Okay. Mariah and BC seem to be disappointed. I'm excited.
Okay.
Because for me, I feel that myths have been debunked. Political giants toppled. Do you understand? So for it is saying to us that the ordinary Nigerians, they finally understand the power that their vote wields. And case in point, let's talk about MDP, the Banky W story. I thought he started late, but it was important for me to see that. I think he had a strategy. You start local, as you just mentioned, you know. And I'm hoping that for the rest, I don't really like a third force idea because I think it's better to vote for issues, for people that you want, you know, wherever they fall. So what do you think? Is MDP on the right path? And what do you think about third force? Is it a good idea for you too?
Well, now, this is the idea. When we talk about it, and this again, I think is a problem with our, what we call our federal system or presidential system. When we talk about the third force, we're only looking at seizing presidential power.
Okay.
You know, that's the focus. Third force, let's have a candidate. That was why when Feladurote, Mohalu, Showera, and so on, you know, came together, they fell apart again. The bigger parties are not worried at what you're doing. In fact, you're helping them.
Yes.
You know why? You know why?
At the end, you join them.
In 2015, Tinubu talked about the arithmetic mathematics or the algebra that made them win. 5 governors defecting. But you have a case where some people are defecting from the ruling party and they were not joining the main opposition.
Yes.
Okay.
Do you understand? You can almost look at the groundwork and know that something was materially was wrong.
Yeah.
Or something was missing. There was a missing link somewhere. And so you find that if you want to, if you want to do a third force, let's begin from somewhere. Let all these people come together, go to a particular senatorial district, win that district.
Okay.
One. Then execute constituency project that will be compelling. Give free education. Build hospitals. Then let them come and say, okay, for Lagos, then let's say we're going to Benue and we want Two-Face to go and run for Senate there again the next time. People will vote for him.
Right.
And so
They've seen what you've done.
Position
there.
like
yourself.
I said, look, people plan
Positioning.
change of political order for
Over
decades.
years.
For decades. It doesn't come on a platter. And that's why you see my fundamental disappointment with what is going on right now. I mean, for all there's going to be a winner.
Right.
That's fine. But as a Democrat, as a citizen, as someone who just wants to express his opinion, what I find is that our parties don't exactly demonstrate depth of political thought. You know, there's problem. If they had their way, if some of them had their way, they shouldn't go to the ballot. That's why.
This statement that politics is local was played out well in Kwara and Kogi State. I would take these 2 senators as case study. Now, Dino is someone that largely in Nigeria we had issues about his personality, his character has come to question, he's refusing to go on trial, he's not appearing in court.
Jumping buses.
He went to the wilderness, he fought the lions and everything. But the people of Kogi know him as their messiah compared to the kind of rulership that they have in Kogi presently. I imagine the calls that came in, it just was anything but the governor's person.
Yeah.
And he worked against them. Now, come to Saraki. This is a dynasty that has worked. Because whether we like it or not, they used to give free food Fridays, people would trek and queue and all that. And the Rankadede method was working. So it was local. But it took a family member to work with the opposition to do this
against him.
to him within that constituency. How serious and how important is it to focus on the big picture or the lower picture? Because we must admit, Dino bailed out his people. I listened to journalists hang out, and Mr. Toju is from Kogi, he's denying his people, but he's talking about how he bailed out his people with the rice, the school he built, and the governor refused them to open that school. So let's talk about, the locality and the kind of grassroots influence that we need beyond this federal position that you, or
Everybody
power
wants.
that you wield?
I think that fundamentally, when you begin to build some sort of capital, political capital, people feel that because so for instance, myself, I would say that I appear on TVC, and so,
They know you.
quote and unquote, I don't know what that means, but I have national whatever, and
Yeah,
so
appeal.
I won't go and run for council chairman. People, they don't know me in my home. My family is popular, or quite well, but I don't have structures in Okrika.
Okay.
But tomorrow, from Lagos, I declared I want to run for president.
But
How?
You know, it's funny.
that's how your family members
And that's
will
what
not
many
vote.
people did.
Yes.
Some of these people couldn't even come to Ojota here and command the crowd. So how do you expect? Because you see, for me to stick out my neck or
Right.
my vote for you, you must have demonstrated something compelling
We need to have a
enough
relationship.
for
It
me.
involves you spending resources.
Yes, for me. See,
I have to
where,
elaborate.
where we get it wrong.
Right.
Can I just
Yeah,
conclude stuff?
yeah.
Where we get it wrong is this. INEC also misses the point. They say you can't spend more than $1 billion to
Yeah.
run for an election. When in reality, even 30 billion.
It's not enough.
Let's go on a break. When we come back, we'll continue this conversation on elections. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back. Welcome back to Your View.
Thanks for staying with us. So, Cyril, now going into the presidential elections, the numbers are trickling in. And they're pretty close. 2.8 million for Buhari and 2.4 for Atiku. And it still means it can swing either way, obviously, from the way we're seeing the numbers. And for the fact that we're told that it's not just about who has the majority numbers, it's who has 25% of the vote. So is there still a possibility for this to swing either way? I mean, is there a strong possibility for it to swing either way?
It can swing, go.
We have to accept the fact that it's a tight race.
Right.
Like I started the poll, I studied before the elections took place. This pattern was predicted.
Okay.
And according to that poll, and I mean, not being unfair to the president, they put the president ahead in the north.
Okay.
Yeah, but they said that the southeast and the southwest were swing states.
Okay.
And you can see the patterns.
Yes.
Atiku taking Oyo and Ondo.
Yes.
They were, yes, they were.
But there's no way the Buhari could have taken anyway in southwest. That was predicted. Southeast. That was already predicted, right?
Yes,
Of course it was.
But he hasn't won any.
What they said, I mean, quoting the police, what they said was that that was his weak area.
Yes.
But that Atiku was not capitalizing on Buhari's weakness in those areas.
He did. Well, that's another.
Hold
Let me just
on,
hit the
hold
poll.
on. Now, there are a number of factors to look at.
Right.
And this is why I blame INEC squarely. You have an election where you have, in a state, Ebonyi and Ekiti, for instance, in Ebonyi you had 1.something million registered voters. In Ekiti, it was between 800 and 900,000.
Right.
On election morning, accredited voters are 300 and something thousand in both states. How do you have an election where people who... It means that Nigerians were not being deliberately made to come out.
Can't make anybody to come out serious.
Just hold on.
Exactly.
Just hold on. If you look at the level of voter apathy, you know, I don't know if you are seeing it, but I didn't see INEC putting so much by way of voter education, by way of voter enlightenment,
Yes.
by way of telling people, come out.
I disagree.
It
Because
was a week to the election. I got an SMS from them. They should have done this. And then
I don't think it was nice. Wait, let me be clear. I understand what you're saying, because I think the fact that many people got their PVCs in the north showed that there were a lot of voter education. A lot of people got their PVCs,
In the
but
north?
getting your PVC did not guarantee you come out and vote, because many of them just got it for maybe ID card, so that at least I have a PVC. But on that day, you couldn't force them to come out because they have the PVCs. So I wouldn't blame it on vote that there was no voter education. There was voter education.
I think what he's trying to say is probably enlightening or sensitizing the people on the candidates and why they should vote for the candidates.
No, they can't do that. They can't do that. They can't do that. It's not there.
In 2015, in Buhari's polling unit, you know, because voting entered into the night counting and so on, the Okada riders brought their Okada, you know, their motorbikes, turned on the headlights,
And yes,
formed the circle and said,
yes.
we are watching you. How many towns will do that here in the South? You need to know that political education and political consciousness is far deep. What we do down here is social media and Twitter. It's far deeper up country. So don't take it for granted. That's one. But particularly when they realize that something is at stake for them. So, but what I'm saying is this, you see, and then when you shift an election by a week, and you go ahead to say political parties should not campaign, they have to fight against that. Because you see, some people travel from Lagos to their villages.
To vote.
And then so if they couldn't vote after spending so much, and they come back and within that 1 week, you say people shouldn't even campaign, and it makes people just sit back and say, you know what, whether I vote or not, it's not.
Up north, there's a culture of information.
A very strong one.
Listen, there's a culture of information sharing. An average northerner goes around with their radio.
He understands.
They don't bother with this, this distracting item called a smartphone.
Yeah.
But you see us down here, we're on social media, we're distracted because there's not how you're following elections, you eventually follow movies, and you're not concentrating.
Sure.
But on average, they know exactly
it's a different ball
what
game.
they want. It's easier down there.
Let me take this call from Adediran. Adediran, are you there? Thanks for calling.
Yeah, good morning, Murray.
Morning. Go ahead, please.
I get your colleagues there.
Yeah, good morning.
Good morning, sir.
The lesson to learn from this election is that we focus too much on INEC. We did not focus on Nigeria. Because on the election day, when democracy is not defined as government of people for the youth, it's government of the people, by the people, for the people. On the election day in my area, in Magburu, thousands of young Nigerians are playing football. When we get the 40 points, the elderly people, I ask people, where are the youths who want to take over? We are over 15,000 where we want to vote different polling units. But the people, how many people vote? We only come on television, come on Twitter. Elections should target the people. If the people want change in the system, in the old system, the people will determine it. But if the people doesn't show interest, there is no way we can change anything.
Thank you very much, Adediran. So that was the point I was trying to make. People got their PVCs, but it just didn't come out.
See. In public relations practice, if the information does not get to the consumer, he is not to blame.
Okay.
He is not. It is your responsibility to channel your message. That's why we talk about wholesaling a candidate and retailing the candidate. It is your responsibility to. The parties, of course, also have their own responsibilities. I'm not aware if any of us belong to any political party.
No, I'm going to try.
Which is the problem in itself. That one.
I want to improve it.
Oh, fine, but I'll come to that later. It is the responsibility of the electoral umpire and the other institutions, in the process, to sensitize, conscientize, inform, and sell the process. What we do in Nigeria is this: INEC and the parties are concerned about elections. Once the elections are over,
that's it.
All.
To look at democracy as a system, as a process, is missing.
What is the work of the national orientation?
That's why even when a political party has this zonal or regional office behind you, you don't feel their impact at all, except when they want to do
Let me take a call and I'll come to Obiachulu. Yakub, are you there?
Yeah, Mariah, good morning.
Go ahead, please.
And good morning to you all.
Good morning.
Let me begin by saying that I may be wrong, I may be right. I disagree with Chris there in your guest in the studio, the guy in the middle.
Sure.
You see, the responsibility of INEC, they have already fulfilled their own responsibility for giving us the voter card, for make sure that they came out that very particular day in order for us to vote. But the responsibility of political party is to mobilize the people that they want to vote for them. There's some people that we call mobilizer in our area here. Midnight, they will be coming to your area, telling you tomorrow morning, please come out, come and vote. That is the political responsibility in order for them to make them to come out to vote. Let me give you a typical example here. We have some malam in my area here. They fetch water, they do all sorts of things. Do you know a week to that election? I asked them, where are you going? They are telling me that they are traveling to go and vote.
Yes.
But in our local area here in Southwest here, all what we need to do, we always do is that we always talk on social media, on the Facebook, on Twitter.
Thank you very much,
We don't
Jacob.
come out to vote.
Right.
That is the issue. Thank you, God bless.
Thank you very much. Yes,
We're dogged enough, and I want to base what I want to say on what we're not dogged enough, because I know that in school I was taught that politics is a dirty game. And I sense a lot of desperation, especially on a particular political party, I don't want to mention names, where they are trying to disenfranchise a lot of people and areas they feel will vote the opposition. And then you see thugs going, even till now, post-election violence is still prevalent. So how do you now convince somebody who does not like trouble and would not like to die before their time to come out and vote?
I honestly don't have an answer to that question. You know why? Because we're in a quagmire. And we need to be realistic. Look, the earlier we start up to have a frank conversation around how we want this electoral process to thrive. Because if I pay tax in a city, if I contribute to the economic well-being of an LG, for instance, I don't see why I shouldn't have a say in choosing who becomes my chairman, my councillor, my governor, whatever it is. But you see, because our politics is a game of zero sum. When people have the power to make decisions, they now use the apparatus of state and everything within their disposal to disenfranchise people.
Yes, now.
For me, I think that, you see, what we lose in one way, we can get in another way. Look, I will say this thing 10 times. Where the parties are lacking, and like I said at the beginning, if some parties had their way, they won't even have to campaign or seek for your votes. They'll just get it. And that's why, you see, there was no... Look, as somebody asked me the other time, are the campaigns going on? I said they are, but they are not doing it as well as they should do it.
Yeah.
And so I maintain that if INEC had a budget to enlighten voters, it was always their duty to ensure that today we still have people coming to do ballot paper counting.
Yes, now I have an issue with INEC. We'll come back. We'll talk about INEC after the break. Let me let you throw in your question here.
Yes. I just want to go back to the North again. See, the North, the core North especially, there are two things that I find that is very important for them. From their religion. First, then politics. I mean, from when you're a child, you're already sitting with your parents and listening to politics. That transistor radio that you're talking about. So you have them in the headsmen in the bushes, listening to BBC Hausa. Do you understand? Then we used to have this situation where the North was also North Central, and the North Central. But now you have a division. So that's where I want to come in with Obiajulu. Maybe they should learn, that it is not a 4-year thing. That sensitization, that education.
You should have ongoing thing.
In between.
Let's go on a quick break. When we come back, we'll focus a bit on INEC because a lot of people feel INEC should have done more.
I am one
than
of
what
them.
we have seen right now.
I'm one of them.
We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back. Welcome back to Your View.
Thanks for staying with us. So we're going to go straight into INEC because yesterday I tried to mention the fact that Senegal also did their own elections and the fact that it went smooth and we didn't have issues of violence. And an Oga called Nima, accusing her, saying that the population of Senegal cannot be compared to Nigeria. And I'm thinking, what does population have to do with this? Because how you manage a small thing is exactly how you manage a larger thing. So in your own view, do you think INEC could have done much better than what they've done, especially in preparation? They had 4 whole years to prepare for this event.
And to add to that, is it justified to compare that population and the resources to the population and resources that we have to manage in Nigeria?
Well, but let me start by saying that I think we are going through needless challenges. We're going through avoidable difficulties in conducting simple elections. Let me even talk about what maybe they didn't plan for, which should be technological compliance. Some are for it, some are against it. I am strongly for it. Because in a country where something as simple as, your conscience wouldn't blame you so much if you didn't vote. But you can't rest at home if your money was, you couldn't access it in the bank. And this money you can withdraw with your fingerprint at an ATM machine. You just go, you thumbprint.
No stress.
No stress, no hassle. I think it won't be too much for us to adopt technology. And let me be very frank with you. There are many countries in the world and institutions, not least even the United Nations, that will be willing to assist us. Elections took place, I think, in Sierra Leone. After Nigeria, after Jonathan handed over or lost to Buhari, it happened in Ghana, happened in Liberia, happened in Sierra Leone, it even happened in Congo now. Okay? So to make the process smarter, freer,
See, I even agree with technology, but something as basic as teach us how to thumbprint on the ballot. If we had videos, something explaining to voters, when you get there, this is what happens. This is what it looks like.
Actually, there were videos on that.
No, it came out very late. We need information to have been sent out earlier.
These are videos that if they had been prepared, even at the longest possible time approved by law, they would have been aired on TV free of charge. see what should be done. I think that when we look at what, and of course, there was time I was analyzing INEC's budget on Breakfast Show. We need to look at what INEC got, how they spend the money, and then where there are lapses. Please hold on.
Yeah, go ahead. I'm listening.
Where there are lapses, we shouldn't take them as errors anymore. Those things should have a name in law.
Exactly.
We should have a proper investigation.
Right.
And then there should be prosecution.
Exactly.
Seriously, that electoral bill that we're talking about, that, that was suspended.
The electoral law.
Would you have solved this problem?
Well, maybe yes, maybe no. Because the fact is this, look, fundamentally, even the law we have right now, are we exploiting it to the latter?
No.
That's the question. If you're not faithful in the little,
Right.
how do you want to be faithful
Should
in the much?
we prioritize INEC?
No,
All right. You keep doing this all the since 1999. We've been on this.
No.
You can actually get a partner who can actually provide the technological capabilities that you need. Or maybe not 100%, but somewhat, partially.
The government can
privatize
provide
them.
those technicalities.
Because if you bring a private sector to come and get involved in this, maybe it will get better.
The National Assembly that we're failing to discuss.
Legislation.
Simple things like cadre down to you will find my people debating the order of elections for weeks on end. The thing will tire you now at some point.
Why am a bit?
Why are our lawmakers, the people in the house, not focused on these things that you're talking about?
But somebody who benefited, with all due respect, somebody who benefited from the morass will now get there and attempt to change it. It doesn't happen like that.
That's true. Let's take a few tweets.
Okay, Tunde M. Dawodu says, Nigerians are always concerned about the moment, but they don't pick or learn anything from it. Not until we play money out of our politics and also get our leaders responsible for their action and do away with sentiments of all kinds. Musumola says, Nigerians are wiser now. Any politician that refuses to carry out their duty will be flushed out. Festus says, young people generally don't engage with politics. There's need for greater awareness, especially among the young people. Andrew says, even though the election results are very tight, it is imperative to mention it has to be 2/3 of the 36 states across the nation.
Let's just take 2 more from you.
The process of, Mr. Adebayo says, the process of election should be stress-free and from activities. Should be stress-free where activities can still continue on the day of election without hindrance. Nigeria is now ripe for technology and the time is now. Okay. It can be done without any issues and we can get better.
Let me take this call from Adeni, from Agodo. Adeni, are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
Go ahead, please.
Thank you.
You're live. Go ahead.
Let me just greet you, those of you that are there.
Thank you, sir.
Yes, I'm here. Let me greet you, those of you that are making this contribution.
Okay, good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Morning to you. The issue there is this: the government on its own, they've tried as much as possible to put all the necessary arrangements in place. Our problem is within we Nigeria. We do everything possible to circumvent all the arrangements put in place. I am telling you, if Bill Clinton of this world, Obama of this world, or any other person you can just think of, if they are here to formulate their own policy on election issues, Nigerians will manage the situation within a circle of eyes.
All right.
It is we people that are supposed to ask ourselves, are we really ready to go by what the law says? Are we ready to obey the issues that have been formulated? I am telling you, it is we Nigerians that we should be ready to make Nigeria great. Nobody will come out or come outside from other countries to make it.
All right, sir. Thank you so much. We have to round off, Cyril. I just want to ask a quick question. Do you expect any other surprises? Because next week again, or 2 weeks' time, we're going to have another election. Now that we've seen the result of our voting, should we expect any other surprises? Or do you see any other places where something might just change?
In the governorship?
Every governorship?
No. What happens is that with whoever wins the presidency, there's going to be a domino effect.
That's your prediction, but so it might not happen this time around.
What the surprise of
what I want is that we must guard against electoral violence. We must guard against vote buying.
Yes.
If you want to practice democracy, let there be a level playing field.
Okay, let's
for
go.
everyone.
That's what we want. Yes.
Tomorrow we have to run.
When will these results be finally?
We have been waiting for the
Tomorrow.
results.
Today it's Tuesday. Well, they started again. We'll see.
Be patient.
Maybe by the end of today or tomorrow morning, we'll
That's
see.
democracy for you.
All right.
No.
That's all we can take on the show today. Please don't forget, tomorrow is our live audience show. Please come early so you can get a seat. See you tomorrow then. Bye-bye.